Oh, how we going, everyone? I better get that camera right. There I am. I'm in the screen quite right. Welcome to another Hog Live. And tell you what, we've got a fan in the background now. If you want to get on board, don't forget to fill out that Google form. Just starting to get my wardrobe into line there, leaving the collar up like that. I've been out in the sun, so sorry about that. But don't forget to fill out that Google form if you want to come on live. I've got Raghav coming on a little bit later, but we're going to go through a few talking points first. There was a big game last night. Punjab Kings only making 111 runs against my mob, KKR, and they defended that total. What a wonderful performance that was. But KKR did not bat well in that run chase. Their decision-making was terrible. But at the end of the day, when you've got runs on the board, anything can happen. And if you believe and you just keep it nice and simple, just bowl those areas and just stay in the game, things can turn around very quickly. Now, I can only remember being in one game in a T20 game. I think it was the Perth Scorchers here against the Melbourne Renegades. Melbourne Renegades were chasing 117. We only put 117 on the board. But when we got in the change rooms, we just had that belief as a bowling unit that we'd be able to get them out. We'd be able to defend that. So you've got to have that belief. So well done to Punjab Kings last night. Just flick it over to the next talking point there, please, AK, because the Punjab Kings have chased down the highest total in an IPL run chase, and now they've defended the lowest total as well. Now, they haven't had much success when it comes to trophies in the tournament. They are a very inconsistent team, and this stat shows that. So hopefully Ricky Ponting can start to get a little bit of belief in this organisation, keep the owners away, keep the owners at bay, but the way that he's operating his troops is perfect. And what I liked about Ricky Ponting the other night is that he made a few changes as well, brought Inglis in for Marcus Stoinis. Could have stuck with Stoinis, but brought Inglis in. He made the changes because he knew that Inglis was going to be a better player of spin on that tough surface last night, but it didn't pay off. They only got 111, and well done to Punjab Kings. Inconsistency. Now, the big performers last night, and there's one player there, Chahal. Now, I was worried about Chahal's selection for Punjab this year, especially up there in Chandigarh way, because I just don't think he's been at his best over the last couple of years. Teams have worked him out when things aren't going right. There's not much in the pitch. He's only got one option, and that's to go wide and slow. He doesn't have too much other than that. But last night, he got that form back. Ricky Ponting was a little worried about him. He does have a slight injury with his shoulder, but he's got that confidence again with the forfer. And with the bowling that he's got around him, Singh as well as who's a quick bowler, Jansen, both left-handers who are very economical and pick up wickets early. And with his 4 wickets last night, Punjab might have found the right formula, and with his confidence in the middle order, finally getting that spinner that can take wickets and control the game in the middle overs, which they need. So, Mr. Chahal, hopefully you keep going through this tournament with big performances like this for your team. 4 overs, 14 dot balls. That's what you want your leg spinner to do in those middle overs. The next talking point is lowest team defended totals. Oh, you flipped over to the points table there. Oh, sorry, AK. Lowest defended totals, Punjab Kings 11. Well done to you, 111 there. CSK, who are finding their troubles now, 116 against Punjab. And Sunrisers Hyderabad, as well as Punjab again, 119, and Sunrisers Hyderabad. So there's a couple of good performances there. So you can look at history, forget about history. Think about what's happening right now. And last night, the way that they kept in the game was sensational. I just want to make one point about KKR, their captain, Ajinkya Rahane last night. He blamed himself for the loss with the shot he played. And he was sitting there going, should have I gone up for the review or not? He didn't want to waste a review. But the thing is, you've got 2 reviews. And when you're the main batsman, you're in form and there's a little bit of doubt, you've got to try and take that review. But the good thing about what I've heard with the conversations with Ajinkya Rahane is that his batsman out the other end, Raghavanshi, was a little confused, wasn't too sure about whether it was going to hit the stumps or not. And because of that confusion, Ajinkya Rahane did not go upstairs. You've got to be certain that it's missing. The batsman out the other end has to be crystal clear about it. Ajinkya Rahane saw that there was a lot of doubt there with young Raghavanshi, so he didn't go upstairs. But the other good thing about it is he blamed himself for the shot. I think he's got to be careful about that, and with the messaging that he's giving the batters in the dugout as well. What he saw come out of the hand was a ball that was outside the legs off stump, so he's gone for the reverse sweep. So he's picked it up early. He's gone for the shot that he's seen, and that's what you want your batsmen to do. You don't want them to be second-guessing themselves. So even if he got out playing that particular shot, he went to the first thought. And that's what you've got to do as a player when you've only got such a short time to react. Go to that first thought. So just be very careful about the messaging that you're saying, blaming yourself for shot selection, because then it runs down with the rest of the playing group. They'll start to worry about their shot selection in those tough situations. You want to have that clear mind. So although I credit Ajinkya Rahane for standing up, just sometimes just that correct messaging. But you got to remember that was straight after the game as well, and there was a lot of emotion there. And when you're talking with plenty of emotion under pressure, all of a sudden you start to rush and you say things that you might regret a little bit later. And I just think he might have thought a little differently if he had a little bit more time with just saying the shot selection. Let's just have a quick look at the points table. I just love the points table. We've got GT and GT at Delhi out the top, Punjab and RCB all in the top four. The thing I like about this is that there are three teams up there that have been inconsistent throughout the whole IPL history that are in the top four. Can they maintain this momentum? That is the big question, because there's a big game tomorrow which involves Mumbai and Sunrisers Hyderabad. Both teams have not found their touch at the moment, but they're both coming off a victory, and whoever wins tomorrow could move forward and put pressure on that top four. So I'm really well done to those three teams. Hopefully they can keep it going, and they've got some good coaching staff around them as well. But you've also got two new teams there, Gujarat Titans and Lucknow, just to comfort those three teams. I'm loving the balance of those three teams. All right, let's go to the next slide, please, AK. And this is a big talking point. Last match. How did this man get man of the match when Shubman Dubey got 43, batted for a long period of time? But there's a left-arm leg spinner, Noor Ahmed, didn't get any wickets, but went for 3.25. 3.25 of his 4 overs. What an economy. It's not just about wickets, it's about the economy rate as well. And if it wasn't for that economy putting pressure on the opposition batters, they would not have kept them down to a total of 168. I think the selectors of this man of the match just got a little bit of Dhoni fever, with all the Dhoni fans around chanting Dhoni, 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 when he got 3 outside edges of his 4 fours to get that quick fire 20-odd that he got to get them over the line. I know, I love MS Dhoni, but sometimes you've just got to stand up and look at other performances and say, Noor Ahmed should have been man of the match. MS Dhoni, but look at that. He's got 150 catches as a wicketkeeper, and he's also got 46 stumpings and 4 catches as a fielder. And look, there was a little bit of brilliance with his keeping the other night with that run out. But he also dropped a sharp chance off Noor Ahmed as well, where Noor Ahmed could have got 1 wicket. Okay, we're just going to talk quickly about the season 18 is this King season. That's King Kohli. He's got his 100th T20-50 the other night. It was a sensational performance. 4 away games in a row. I just think he's going to be the bee's knees this year. He's really loving batting with salt. Patidar coming in next, and then having that extra depth in the batting lineup, RCB, it's really letting him play with freedom again. Remember a couple of years ago, I think he made nearly 800 runs for the season. He was just smashing them all over the park. He's nearly back to his best in that form, and I'm looking forward to seeing him continue on where he's going. We've got the big game tonight. Delhi Capitals taking on Rajasthan Royals. Now, I'm just thinking Rajasthan Royals don't have depth in the bowling. They're relying too heavily on Archer, but Archer's got to get those early wickets. If he doesn't, then all of a sudden the pressure's on those middle overs. And I'm also just worried about their batting lineup at the moment. Jaswal and Sampson have to get them off to a good start. They can't take too much time in those power play overs and do what they did the other night. They've got to be at least 55 to 70 at the end of the 6 overs if they're still both in, and that takes pressure off that middle order. When I'm looking at Delhi Capitals, not minding their bowling attack, look, Stark's one of those wicket takers, but the thing that I'm worried about Mitchell Stark with the new ball, he's looking to go full, looking to go that half volley length. But the thing with Mitchell Stark, when it's not working for him, he can't pull it back to that good length and hit that hard length to try and control the batsman. That's where I think Jansen and Bolt from the Mumbai Indians are better options with the new ball than Mitchell Stark, because those two particular bowlers adapt more. They see the ball's not swinging, or they see that batsman's on song. They pull it a little further back and not bowl that half volley length or that knee roll length where the batsman can still drive straight down the ground. That's something that Mitchell Stark can work on. But the other player, Fraser McGurk, against the Mumbai Indians the other night, he got caught out cover. He just tried to stroke it. I didn't mind that shot. He has had a terrible season, Fraser McGurk. But if I was a coach there, I wouldn't bring Faf du Plessis in at the moment. You're still number 2 on the ladder. And Fraser McGurk is a game-changing player. Keep him in there, because just the way that he's tinkering and just trying to stroke the ball and not overhit it early on just shows me that he's made a slight change to his game. Back him, because if he gets settled, he gets to 10, all of a sudden he'll start to take the bowling on again. He'll find the boundaries, and if he gets a 50, that first 50 this season, that will start the momentum, and Delhi Capitals will have a dominant batsman up the top, and that will take pressure off the middle order. They really need Fraser McGurk to fire. So I'd give him another couple of opportunities while they're still on top of the ladder, knowing that you've got Faf du Plessis in the background to take things home and relieve the pressure. Now, that's all I've got for Delhi Capitals and Rajasthan Royals today, because we're going to go to our guest as I move around in my chair to get a little bit more comfortable. The guest is going to bring on some questions for me, which I'm really looking forward to. Hoggout, how are you?
I'm doing very well, sir. What about you?
I'm going very well. Now, you're 14 years of age. I think it's year 10, isn't it? Year 10? School?
Sir?
School?
Yeah, I'm at grade 10.
Yep. And when you finish school, you want to go to Institute of Technology?
Yeah, Indian Institute of Technology.
Indian Institute of Technology. And if you don't go there, you want to be a cricket analyst.
Yeah.
I'd go to IIT first, and then go to get something behind you, and then go become a cricket analyst, because you never know where it can take you. A little bit of advice from Uncle George Hogg over here in Australia. Always good to have a little bit of cricket behind you. Now, you heard me with MS Dhoni there, with that game against Lucknow Super Giants. Was I a bit too critical?
I think Dhoni even admitted that Noor Ahmed must have won the Player of the Match award. He said that I was surprised to receive the Man of the Match award, but I think the impact I would have given the Player of the Match to Noor Ahmed myself. If you look on the tactical point of view, he built the pressure in the 17th over, just conceding 1 run, sir, was his punt. So that over was crucial. The impact Noor made was absolutely great, according to me. So I would have given to Noor Ahmed as well. So 4 overs, just 13 runs. That is great according to me. And MS Dhoni, 26 runs, 11 balls. So yeah, it was also important, and he did three beautiful dismissal. But
Yeah.
the impact Dhoni made couldn't get near to the impact Noor Ahmed made. He even admitted that. He told that I was very surprised that I am receiving the award. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. And even if I was in the change rooms of Chennai Super Kings, Shivam Dubey hasn't really found his timing throughout the series. I would have even thought he should have got man of the match as well, because I thought Lucknow bowled pretty well too. They're looking to go wide, and he wasn't trying to overhit it and trying to find those sixes as such. Some beautiful shots through the covers. I just think the way that he adapted to the situation to make sure that they gave themselves the best chance to get home was sensational. And I've always worried about Shivam Dubey with that part of his game, and it just showed that he's matured over the last year, especially with more time with Indians. So I would have thought he had a bigger impact than MS Dhoni as well, especially with the 4 early wickets. Would you agree with that?
I have to agree with that partially. So, if you look on CSK middle order, sir, I think their problem is the strike rate. So
Yep.
I think you'd completely agree with that. So I think Dubey was not getting it, and came Dhoni. So if he didn't get it, the match would have ended. So
Yep.
Noor, comparing, I think IPL is doing a lot of things only to the batters, giving a lot of things only to the batters. I think bowlers, but comparing to the last year, this year has been a sort of better year for bowlers, I think. So last year, if you look at consistently 260, 270, but we are seeing some low scoring thrillers here. Yesterday, if you see, we have seen a low scorer. So I think there is a better thing for bowlers from the last year. I think so. So
Yep.
bowlers,
Yep.
and but I think Noor must have got the man of the match award. So
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
and even yeah.
Yeah. I just now your first question. What's your first question to me? Because you alluded to it just then.
So what strategy should CSK employ to strengthen the middle order, and what changes will you make into their playing 11 to make them qualify for the top 4?
Well, the thing is, how they've got to keep Padirana in there, and they've got to keep Noor Ahmed in there as well, and they've got to keep Ravindra out the top of the order. They need a little bit more batting depth. Do they go with Overton or do they go with Sam Curran? Which is a better batter out of them? I'm looking at the Indian batters as well. I've got the squad up here. You can go with the 18-year-old Siddharth, give him a go. Because you've got Sheikh Rashid that's come in and he looked fantastic in that first couple of games. I loved his foundation. I loved his just his technique. I think there's a bit of upside there. So would you go with Siddharth, or would you bring Beatty in, who's a backup keeper as well, who can bat, give them opportunities? So the way that I'd look at it right now, where are we in the scheme of things in this year's IPL 2025? Are we going to make the playoffs? Have we got the team to make the playoffs at the present moment? No, we've got an injury to Gaikawad, and we've just got an unsettled middle order at the present moment. Shankar, I'm up in the air with him. Shivam Dubey just hasn't found his mark there. Tripathi, well, we've given him an opportunity from Sunrisers Hyderabad. I just think, and you can go to Deepak Huda, but he's only averaging 16 or 17, I think, in IPL cricket. So you don't want to go to those particular players. So if I was Chennai right now, I'd be going, right, Siddharth, Beatty, either of them okay to go in the middle order? Can we take a risk with them now that Dhoni's got a man of the match under his belt as well? Can we take a risk with one of those two and put them between Dubey and Dhoni and give them a good crack and see if we can make the most out of one of those two players. So then all of a sudden you've given Sheikh Rashid and Sadat or Beatty an opportunity at IPL, and you're giving them a long opportunity, looking out building for the next 2 years to try and win a championship in the next 2 years. Because I don't think with the team they've got out at the moment, with the injury to Gaikawad, that they're a chance of winning this year's IPL with it, where they're at on the ladder right now and the games to come. So for me, my strategy would be to look at bringing some of these youngsters forward and looking at winning a tournament in the next 2 years. I think they'll be looking at their squad right now and going, we didn't choose that well in this particular option. When you've got Jadeja coming in at 4 before Dubé, that's too high in the order for him. I think that just shows that they're panicking at the moment. So for me, take a step back, get rid of Japati, give Sadat a go and keep Shankar in there, or get rid of both of them, give Sadat, Beatty a go, or is there any other youngsters in there, young all-rounder in there? Not really.
Yes,
So that's the way I would go. Hey?
Ramakrishna Ghosh, he has been said that he will be the next Hardik Pandya as well. So,
well, there you go. Give him a go. He's 27 years of age.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if they say that he's the next Hardik Pandya, if they rate him that highly, he should be in there now. And I'm looking at his first-class bowling average. It's 41. His T20s, he's only played 6 games. His bowling average is 174. And when you look at his batting and fielding, he's got a strike rate of 150, but an average of 7.5. And he's 27 years of age. So for me, I'd go the other two first and give them an opportunity, because they're 21 years of age and 20. Sadat's 20 and Beatty's 21, I think. So that's the way I would go about it. Do you like that as a Chennai fan?
Yeah, I'll personally go for Vansh Bedi. So,
Yeah.
So if you look on Vansh Bedi, Priyant Sarya, Vipraj Nigam, they are all coming from the Delhi Premier League. So
Yep.
They are all doing well. So hope so. Vansh Bedi does well too if he comes in.
Yeah. I think you've just got to take that risk right now. You've really got to take that risk. And it's a tough one. But I really, with their bowling department, I love CSK's bowling department, because you've got Ahmed. I think KL Ahmed is sensational with the left arm, with his left arm paces. Paddy Rana, the way that he bowls in the death overs is sensational. And I'd like them to go back to Chowdhury. I think Chowdhury is quite a good bowler as well. But I just think Kabodge as well. He's not bad with the ball. And then they've got some quality spinners. I think they've got a well-balanced bowling attack, but they're just their middle order, big hitting. That's where they lack. And for me, I'd give those two youngsters a go, as we said. So that's how I'd go about it with CSK right now. Just, take the loss and move forward. And one of those youngsters might come off. Raghavanshi from KKR, he's come off. There's a couple of other youngsters that are coming off as well. Is this the worst bowling attack RR ever had? This is from Amapan. Now, Amapan, I quite like what you're saying there. They've got Jofra Archer there, but they just don't have too much in the spin department, and they just don't have too much pace to help Jofra Archer. So for me, and Tekshana, I'm not too happy with him at the present moment. I just think I'm looking at Chennai Super Kings, and I'm also looking at Rajasthan Royals. I'm looking at the two coaches. There's too much of a Sri Lankan flavour for the Rajasthan Royals on a pump, and when I look at the CSK lineup, there's too much of a New Zealand influence there as well. So sometimes the coaches get a bit biased there. Raghav, are you there? Okay, getting back on there. What do you think? What do you think of my comments there with Rajasthan Royals bowling attack, mate? Oh, you're back on? You're on mute there, Rugged.
Yeah.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, here. Sorry, sir, for the inconvenience. Here.
Don't worry, look at you. That's a don't need to apologise. What do you think of the? Oh, did you hear me with the Rajasthan Royals there?
Yeah, you were talking about the Rajasthan Royals bowling attack. So I have I think the work of Wanindu Hasaranga with Tikshana is absolutely great in my opinion. So Wanindu Hasaranga, Tikshana together in Sri Lanka have been very amazing. So they both have done well together in Sri Lanka, and we can't write off this bowling attack in my opinion. So Sandeep Sharma bowls at that Jofra Archer, if he shows the original potential, you know who he is. So, and I think Sandeep Sharma, Jofra Archer, the two pacers set in the 11. So the third pacer, are they gonna go for Tushar Deshpande? They have Akash Matwal there, warming the bench, who is waiting for the chance desperately. So, and many guys are there in the fast bowler. If you have one overseas, you have Fazal Faruqi, you have Aquina Mafaka there, and Rahul Dravid loves a lot of youngsters there. And I think it is not the worst of the tournament. I'll say it is okay. It is one of the worst in the tournament, not the worst, I would say. So if you look on the LSG bowling attack, I think that is the worst in the tournament. So bowling attack in
LSG. I quite like the LSG one because it's all Indian. You brought up a young player there, Akash Madwal. He played for the Mumbai Indians. I would actually bring him in the team right now and make sure he's bowling in the middle overs with the spin, and just let him try and bowl as quick as he possibly can. Don't put him in the heated overs, but put him in those middle overs with spin. And I just reckon that mixture of pace and spin might give them a little bit better balance. But Anupam, I agree with you. I'm not quite happy with that attack because it relies too heavily on Jofra Archer getting breakthroughs in those middle overs. And I also just think the spin options there, when you've got two spinners from overseas in your lineup, that's a bit of a worry because there's so much depth in Indian spin. And you've got Kumar Kartikia there, who I'd like to see more options with. Raghu, hang on. Who's this? Good to script. I feel Archie is too predictable with pace and not a lot of variations, as he is off colour. So for this season, unlike his usual stuff, that reflects in the column, right? Look, with Jofra Archer, yes, he's got that extra pace. I'd like to see him bowl within himself and bowl a few swingers as well. But really, there's no other bowlers up there that can take the new ball and do the damage. Sandeep Sharma, I feel, is very good in the death overs, very good in the middle overs. But with the new ball, he likes to get it swing. But if it's not swinging, he's easy to get away. And then you look at the depth in their bowling lineup. Who else can take the new ball and save Jofra Archer till later to bowl with a spin? They don't have that, and they don't have that luxury. So that's probably why Anupam is right there with Rajasthan Royals having one of the worst attacks in the competition, as Raghav had said. What's your second question there, Raghav? I'll better check.
So my second question is, if you could attend one IPL match this year, what it would be? So what clash you are so excited?
What clash would it be? I'd actually like to see Lucknow Super Giants versus Punjab Kings. Now, the reason being is that there are two coaches on the sidelines. I wouldn't really be watching the game. I'd be skidding in an area where I could have a good look out the dugout and see how those two particular people are behaving in the dugout, how they're keeping their emotions controlled, because I know that they're very competitive against each other when they're playing. And there's when those two have a team out in the middle against each other, they'd still be competitive. So I'd like to see how their emotions go. But if I was going to watch a game, I'd like to see RCB versus Mumbai Indians, for the fact that I love watching Kohli bat, and I also love Suryakumar Yadav as well as Tilak Varma. So Sky and Virat Kohli, I'd love to see those two bat. And then you've also got Boomer and Josh Hazlewood, and I'd like to see Santner perform as well. He's a bowler that hasn't set the world alight early on in his career, but he's starting to take effect now. And I really have enjoyed his career as well. So that's probably why I'd watch those two teams. That's a good question.
So can we expect you there in that match?
We'll see what I'm doing. I'll just check my calendar. When is that match?
So I
hopefully,
yeah.
Hopefully it's the final. And either stadium, whether it's Wankhede or Bengaluru, Chinnaswamy, it'll be good. I'd like to watch it at Chinnaswamy, actually, because it's really loud there. A little different atmosphere, probably, and it's the home ground of Virat Kohli, and it's a high-scoring venue, just like Wankhede as well. So, and it's been a ground that they haven't been able to defend. That's why I'd go there. Now, what's your third question?
So my third question is: so is home advantage still a big factor this year? So looking on the statements of Ajinkya Rahane, Stephen Fleming, it seems shocking, right? So Ajinkya Rahane said that there is a cold war between him and the curator. So he is saying that he is not giving the needed conditions. And if you look, Fleming says that he says that home is never advantage for any team. So your goes on that, and is home advantage still a factor according to you, sir?
I think home ground advantage should be allowed. You should have that factor in it, because you want to see different aspects of the game being played. So if Kolkata Knight Riders and Chennai Super Kings want to have a spin-friendly wicket because of their squads, let them have that. But if RCB and Mumbai want to have pacey tracks because they've probably got better pace lineups, but it's also better for their batting as well, let them have that. And what it does is it makes strategy in the auction a lot more strategic, because you've got to cover your spin department, but you've also got to cover your pace department. But then you've got to look at your batting lineups as well. Have we got enough depth with our batting to cover spin? Have we got enough depth to cover our pace as well when we're facing that? So for me, you should be able to have home ground advantage. If the home team wants certain things with their wicket and it's able to be done by the curator, fine. I think that should be allowed, because you want to have that home ground advantage. That's important, because if you win your 7 home games, then all of a sudden you've only got to win 2 or 3 when you're away. But if you're going to win the tournament, you've got to adapt to those other venues. When it comes to the final or the finals, unless you finish on top, that's when the curators say, no, you're not having home ground advantage. The finals is a different thing, because you want the best cricket there. Unless the final state, if you had a final series where the top team gets the home ground advantage, fine, you can have home ground advantage there. But if final state that it's out neutral venues, then no home ground advantage when it comes to the finals. So you've got my point there.
So yeah,
with the final.
So I agree with you. So curators, should IPL, what to do with the curators right now? Should IPL do something to them, or should they change them? So the board, what should the board do? No,
I think there's the other aspect of it as well. The curators have got to look after their venue as well, and the curators have pride in their work as well. So with everything that I've just said, it should be home ground advantage. No two ways about it. But if the curator has issues with his particular venue or wants his venue to play a certain way, so let's say it's an international game there at Kolkata or an international game there at Chennai. If they are conducive to spin, then IPL, it should be conducive to spin. If they're conducive to pace, then the curator continues what he's delivered out in international cricket. So as an organisation, you pick your team according to that. But Chennai have had that advantage on their home ground where they've got Chakravarti and Sunil Narayan, as well as Andre Russell bowling his medium paces with taking pace off the ball to full advantage. So we already know what Kolkata have had over the previous years. We already know what Chennai have had over previous years. So it should continue like that. So the team should have as much say as possible, but then the curator's got to have a great excuse not to be able to deliver what the team is asking for. And if the curator says, I'm looking after my wicket block because I've got this and this and this coming up after the IPL, I need to do this with my wicket block, well, so be it, because international cricket comes ahead of IPL. First class cricket. Well, not so much ahead of IPL, but, you know, that international game at the moment goes ahead of IPL. So you've got to have a bit of mix and match with the curator. You've got to have that conversation. But if the curator's doing it without a good excuse, well, then the BCCI should be able to step in and say, look, they want this, you've got to deliver it, because we want we want entertainment on the big screen. And look, at the end of the day, we don't want 260 being scored every game, but we don't want 111 being scored every game and getting defended as well. We want variance in what we see on the TV. So I like the low-scoring games as much as the high-scoring games, but the most important aspect of cricket, I like variance in my games. I like a point of difference, and that point of difference is generally the way that the wicket plays. And I want wickets and grounds to have their own characteristic, and I want them to have a different characteristic from other grounds. I don't want to see each game being played on a similar wicket every night, because it becomes boring. It becomes dull.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, sir. So,
yeah.
So I would like to, home conditions are very important. So they must plan accordingly. As you said, you nailed that.
Sorry, what was that?
You nailed that point when you say home ground conditions should be first of all, international cricket must be prioritized, and they must set conditions based on they must go on an order.
Yep, definitely. I totally agree with you. Anupam there, should DC continue to give a chance to Josh Fraser-McGurk, or should he be dropped? I'd give him another chance. Second on the ladder. As I said earlier, he's a game-changing player. You've invested heavily in him. You've got to give him the confidence, and you've got to have the right coaches around him as well. Fraser-McGurk, it's not form. It's between the ears. So what I mean by that, it's his headspace at the present moment. You've got to get him into a state of mind where he has that self-belief again, and that he has a free rein to go after the bowling without any repercussions. If you give him that freedom, you give him that trust, you give him that space, he will take off. And I back him. I've had my issues with Fraser-McGurk, but you've got him in the squad. I think I can see that he's trying to change his game. He's trying to set himself up early in the innings so that he can really play deep in the innings as well, because he knows if he gets going, he can score 200 plus strike rate and get Delhi Capitals into that 200 region more often than they've been used to. So keep him in there. Now, Raghuv, you've got two more questions. What's your next one?
So, any funny or memorable moments in the Kolkata KKR dressing room? You were?
Yes. Yep. Rajasthan Royals, Stuart Binney. Remember Stuart Binney?
Yeah, Stuart
Yeah.
Bin.
So we're sitting there. I had not met his wife out this stage, but we're sitting there. There's a camera around, and I'm just sitting there casually right next to Stewie. I said, "So, Stewie, what's your wife's name?" I think it was his girlfriend at the time. I'm not sure whether they were married at the time. He said, "Oh, it's my auntie." So, and I just said, "No, you can't be going out with my auntie." And there was a little bit of banter there for a while, and just the miscommunication. But we had a lot of fun there, and that was all over the uh, TV there. Interviewing Rahul Dravid when he was half naked on the massage bench. One of the most relaxed interviews that you'll ever see with Rahul Dravid. So go back about 10 years ago, you might see that one on there. And Shahrukh Khan, the owner of KKR, he was just sensational in the change rooms. He comes in generally quite most of the time, especially there in KKR. And I was having a bit of a joke after each game, encouraging the team. And he was there smiling away, and I just said, "Don't you laugh." And he had a sun-kissed, I think it was, advert, or one of those drink adverts. And I grabbed a can out of the fridge, shook it, and let it bubble, and just had a bit of a prank at him with the with his advertising, the way that he went about it. Everyone in the room went quiet, thinking you can't do that to the owner, or can't say that to the owner. And he just started laughing. His family that he had with him just cracked up as well. Then it just lightened up the whole moment. Everyone just cracked up. He just had a great sense of humour with Shahrukh Khan. Just brilliant. Absolutely loved it in there. I could really go on a lot deeper in that story, but that's just a short sharpness of it. Yeah, we had plenty of good times in there. Plenty of good times. I'm not going to share too many more because I do a few speaking gigs as well, and I share some of those stories at great length to set it up as well. So yeah, there's a lot of fun in there. Lot of fun. Kanapati this week. Tri-series between SRH, MI, CSK going to decide first team which is going to be eliminated. Well, Raghuv, out of those three teams, I am thinking that CSK might be the first team that's eliminated, and I don't say that with any malice or anything like that. I just think they lack in the middle order. They don't have too much power at the moment with Shubman Dubé not dominating, and I just think they don't have that. They're not finding the right balance with their squad to get their best spinners in there as well. So they're finding it hard to get that good balance. Would you agree with me there?
I should have agree with you. I must agree with you. So they lack middle order. So
Yeah.
only they are too reliant on the guy Shivam Dubey, who is not hitting now as well. So I predict that Mumbai from this situation will qualify for the top four. They have a superb team. Their top order is strong. Their middle order is strong. They have a decent spin department. They have a tremendous pace department. So luck was not going their favor. Some moments was not going in their favor. Last few matches they won by few margins. So some moments were not going on their way. So that is the goal. I think Mumbai will qualify, and
Yeah.
SRX. I think they'll finish it somewhere in number 7, number 8. But CSK, I have to accept the fact that they don't have a middle order, and out they don't have any options there. They have pretty decent youngster, but you don't know how they are. If should they will they click? Really don't know. And
Mm.
so yeah, I also should accept with you in that.
Yep. No, that's all right. If you want to disagree with me, you disagree with me because that's what it's all about too, youngster. Now, Raghav, you've got one more question there before we've got to move on and leave.
Yeah. So, which team can give us a surprise now, and which team is the best according to which side is well balanced? So, what does your instinct say when which team is gonna win this year?
Mm. I think you're quite right there. Mumbai Indians probably are the team that might come back. SRH have got a well balanced batting lineup, but they bit hot and cold out at the moment. They don't have Zampa at the present moment, and I just think they lack a bit of spin. So for me, it's going to be Mumbai Indians out of that bottom three to come back. I totally agree with you in that regard. If I'm looking at a team to win this year, I still like Lucknow Super Giants. I know that you said that they don't have a bowling attack, a decent bowling attack. I think if they get Mayank Yadav back in there, and I'd like to see Prince Yadav in there as well. It was Prince Yadav, wasn't it? I thought he did well in one of the games. I'm surprised that he didn't get another opportunity. I think Shardul Thakur, he gets too hot and cold. He's got the skills, but I just think he's also got skills with the bat as well if he uses it. But if Mayank can come in for him, that would be good. Shardul Thakur, he's got all the talent in the world, but he does not look after his body. He should be better at that. And Digvish, the mystery spinner, I think he's a big find. So I think they're power batting and they've just got enough bowling to be able to defend total. So Lucknow for me is still favourites, and I'm liking Royal Challengers Bangalore. So the reason Royal Challengers Bangalore, I like Salt and Kohli out the top. Patidar coming in there with Padikal. So Padikal, Patidar. Then you got Livingston, isn't it? Yep, Livingston, Jedish, Tim David. And then you've got Hazelwood, Dale, and Booby in the within the bowling attack. Those three are very good in the power play overs. They pick up wickets. All of a sudden takes pressure off that part-time spin that they've got in the middle overs. You've got Cornell Pandya in there as well. Their spin is where they lack, but out Bengaluru, the spin is there to be as economical as they possibly can. It's pretty hard to control scenarios there with spin out Chinnaswamy, even though a couple of spinners have done pretty well there over the last couple of games. But for me, Royal Challengers Bangalore and Lucknow Super Giants. Who are your two or who's your team that you think will take it out now?
Yeah, I'll say Delhi Capitals. So because
Delhi Capitals.
Yeah. So today is the last. I think Faf will come in definitely.
Yeah.
Faf will come in. So Jake Fraser McGurk is there. Today is his best chance to show him who he is. They are playing in the Arun Jaitley Stadium, which is a shorter ground. So average first inning score there is around 200. So I think today is Jake Fraser McGurk's day. And their middle order is balanced. They have Stubbs, Ashutosh, Vipi, Nigam to finish the things off. They have a great bowling side. They have a great pace in Mitchell Stark, Mohit Sharma, Natarajan is there, who is injured, who could come back anytime. Mukesh Kumar giving the breakthroughs in the far end of the power play. So they have a best quality three spinners really, with Rajniham, Akshar Patel, Kuldeep Yadav. He is bowling very well at any grounds, any kind of conditions. And we have also seen Vipi Nigam too. So their side looks sort of very balanced. So what I would like to do for that team is I would like to bring in Donovan Ferreira.
Who?
Donovan Ferreira there in the middle.
Yeah. Yep. Why would you like to bring him in?
So Akshar Patel, KL Rahul, I think they lack in some firepower there in the middle. So Donovan Ferreira could bring you in Delhi kind of grounds and in any conditions. He could keep, he could bowl. He feels very well. So I'd like to bring Donovan Ferreira. He gives you a huge impact. He's a utility player. So why not go for Donovan Ferreira? Or if you look on
Yeah.
Indian options, I'd like to bring Rizvi Ahen. So yeah,
Yeah.
adding a firepower into the middle order is only thing they must do.
Yep. Yeah. No, I agree with you. I like the way that you summed it up there, and it looks as though you're right behind Delhi Capitals in a sense that you think that they're going to take out the tournament. And the way that you've explained that is just beautiful. And the way that you came across there, it just shows that Delhi Capitals are a huge chance. So you're going with Delhi. I'm
Yeah.
going for RCB and Lucknow, but I think Lucknow probably got a better chance than RCB. So, but they're my two teams out at the present moment where I'm seeing to go through to the final. Fraser McGurk up against Jofra Archer tonight. I think he's going to take it out. I think you will see the best of him, and we'll see how good he is against spin. Who have we got here? I just got to take this up, see if I can expand. Sarah Chandra. Hog sir, just want to know mindset of batter. Nowadays, cricketers become just to hit the ball for 4 and 6, but there are batters who play situation. But why do players like Maxi J, Fraser McGurk doesn't change their style? Now, Sarah Chandra, that is a very, very good observation. And you looked at it last night, KKR. Didn't need too many runs to chase down, and Ajinkya Rahane got out playing the reverse sweep. The shot was there to play. He had to play it. He saw it. He went after it. But then the shots that continue with batsmen coming out and not getting settled out in the middle when they had plenty of time on an up and down wicket, just was not right. You've got to have a mindset that's able to change to the conditions, to the match scenario, and that's what I like. That's what I loved about talking about Shubman Dubey today with Chennai Super Kings. He's not finding form. Well, he struggled with form, so he's taking his time out in the middle. Rishabh Pant, he hasn't been in touch, but all of a sudden he's played a couple of shots, then he's just found his timing. All of a sudden he gets away. He takes just a little bit more time to get used to the conditions. And I think, yes, the game has changed. On flat wickets, you go after the bowling. You've got to continually go after the bowling. But when there's a little bit of variance there, you've got to change your mindset. You've got to go back to 4-day cricket type mode and go, right, I need to take 5 or 6 extra balls here to get settled. I can't just go from ball 1. I've got to push the 1s and 2s and get into the match. When you're chasing 150, you only need a couple of boundaries every 3 overs. When you're chasing 200, you need 2 boundaries an over to chase. So it's a different mindset that you have there. So last night, KKR. Terrible mindset. They did not adjust to the conditions. And when you look at Maxi, even Liam Livingston there, when England were playing India, they played big shots to try and get the momentum rather than just pushing the 1s and 2s. They've only got 1 gear. They don't have 2, 3 or 4 gears. Jake Fraser McGurk, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt here. He's trying to have those different gears that he's batting with at the present moment. And the other night, he just pushed it to that cover region. He didn't try and overhit it. And getting out for a golden duck, caught out covers the way that he normally plays, but seeing that change of mindset there tells me that he's switched on, he's willing to change his game, and he's set for a big one. And it's up to the coaches to get right behind him. So Fraser McGurk has slightly changed his ways. So good question there. Good question. Absolutely love it. Now, Raghav, we've come to an end. Thanks very much for getting on board with me, mate. That is sensational.
Thank you so much. And can I ask you one question?
Yep. Go for it.
What is the one thing you'll advise for the future cricketers?
One bit of advice for future cricketers. One bit of advice with future cricketers. That is a good one, because when it comes to when it comes to your game, know your game, know yourself. So if you've got the talent, if you've got this talent and skill, understand yourself. Try and control your emotions. So MS Dhoni talks about it a lot. Controlling your emotions is the big key, because if your emotions get out of control, all of a sudden you start to rush, you start to quicken up. I'll go into a bit with my career in this scenario, because I'm trying to highlight a point here. I can go back to any game, not watch a ball, and virtually tell you whether I've had a good day or bad day with the way that my body language is. I can tell whether I'm in control of the moment or not in control of the moment because of my behaviours. When I'm not in control of the moment, I'm slightly quicker than what I am, or I'm a lot slower than what I normally am, because I had a set pace of going through the motions. I was fairly quick through my overs, but when I was a lot more anxious, bowling to a Verinder Sehwag when he was on top of me, I'd either be a lot quicker than normal or I'd be a lot slower. And when I say slower, a hell of a lot slower, trying to control everything, and I'd start overthinking. When I was rushing a lot more, I was just trying to get out of it. The anxiety had just got me. So it's the one bit of advice is controlling your emotions. So do a lot of mindset work. That's one bit of advice. Another important bit of advice for cricketers: find other interests outside the game. So I am close to an old stalwart here in West Australia, absolute legend of the game. He's coached the team, and he went to one particular player who's another legend and said, "Look, young fella, you've got to have other interests out of the game." And he would try and ask him about other questions or questions about other things in this person's life. But the particular person we're talking about said, "I'm just focusing on cricket. Cricket's everything to me. That's it." And then at the latter part of his career, things weren't going right. And this particular player said to the coach, "I wish I'd taken your advice and had other interests in my life, because it just drains you concentrating on the same things day in, day out, day in, day out." It's like you with your studies. You know, you want to get to the Indian Institute of Technology. You want to get there, but you've got to do that. You've got to get the foundation right of your studies. Then you do the hard work, and you prepare for the test well in advance, so that when it comes to test time, you can take a bit of a couple of hours off, just before the test, and you can have a decent night's sleep. But if you try and panic out the end of the lesson, or end of the time and the exams tomorrow, you don't have a good sleep, and that won't help your exam. So controlling your emotions is a big one. Having other things outside of your day. And I think one other bit of advice is prepare for tomorrow. So if you're going to school tomorrow, make sure that you've got everything done that night, so that when you wake up tomorrow morning, you don't have anything to worry about. You don't have to have anything to worry about with your sleep. So it's the same with cricket. Ricky Ponting was prepared the night before. He had a checklist, bang, 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 bang. Yep, all done. Bang, I'm ready for tomorrow. And they gave him the best chance for a good night's sleep. Same with Mike Hussey. So there's plenty of things out there. And I'll even go to further. I'll play lawn bowls here now in Perth. So lawn bowls. If I wash my clothes the day before, or my uniform, I have it ready the day before the game, I'll have a good game. But if I wake up in the morning and go, "Oh gee, I haven't washed my clothes," and put them in there, I don't have a good game, because I'm rushing and I'm not organised. So that's a bit of advice for the young cricketers moving forward. Does that help?
Yeah, so absolutely. It also helps for myself too. So yeah, thank you so much for your advice, and thank you.
Yep. Yep, and that's the one thing. That's the one thing I love about. I know that you've got family and that watch. One thing that I love about Indian culture is how strong the family unit still is. That's a great thing, and I think you've got to make sure that you got your family around, you got your mates around, and make sure they're quality mates that want you to succeed. Have those right people around that want you to succeed, and make sure you return the favour, wanting them to succeed as well. Because when you enjoy other people's success, you have that success as well. Yep, perfect. Now, Raghav, thanks very much for joining me. Now,
Thank
if
you so
you want to be like Raghav and join me on a live Hoggout, just fill out that Google form. But for now, good luck to Rajasthan Royals tonight and Delhi Capitals. Rajasthan is my old team. I like to see them win, but I think Delhi Capitals are going to be too good. And don't forget to fill out that Google form. Hog out.